Morning everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a good weekend so far. It's hard to keep up with the days, isn't it? Everyone's saying the same, and it is. You've got no set shopping days or set days for things that you did normally, like the weekend to weekend. We've always, even though hubby's been retired for quite a while now, we still try and keep the weekend feeling. So, you know, like the weekend is the weekend and the weekdays are the weekdays, and try and separate it off. And then also normally you've got like shopping day, days you have the grandchildren, and then you've got appointments filtered in around and all the normal things that everybody does. So, but we haven't got any of that now, have we? Because for doctor's appointments and things like that are dealt with over the phone. They speak to you over the phone and just do the best they can. But it's better than nothing, isn't it? And it's safe. There's no minded of grandchildren because we've got to keep them safe and ourselves. There's no regular shopping day because it's a fight for who can get first to a delivery. So it's all gone to pot, isn't it? I was going to say the cut word, but it doesn't sound very nice, does it? So I won't say that on YouTube and get into trouble. So, yes, you haven't seen this baby before. This is my Emma Asleep by Bountiful Baby. I did start to root her, and I've pulled it all out for now, the patch I did about a 3" by 2" patch. And I wasn't happy with the mohair when I was starting to do it, but I thought, no, I'll do a little bit, and then when it gets a reasonable size, I'll trim it and condition it, and, you know, damp it down, have a look at it again, and see how I feel. But it's, I think it's lost its luster, so I'm going to order some more. So I thought for now I might as well put it together. So obviously once she gets to this stage I would have put it together anyway, and so she could join in the videos and I could see her and all the rest of it, and then in between rooting. But I think it'll be a case of getting online on Monday and having a look for some fresh hair, because I have had that mohair for a while, and I am actually wondering if it wasn't a packet that was left in Mum's stuff. Mum passed in 2013, so no wonder it's feeling a bit coarse and a bit dried out, especially as it's Susan and a girl. You keep things because you don't want to waste them, don't you? But you know, and it's expensive stuff, so I didn't want to, you know, if I can use it I will, but no, it's not nice. I need something soft for her, because I need to, she's like Peanut is. When you put her together, bearing in mind this is a scan of a real baby, she's one of those babies or people that seem to have a slightly smaller head for their body, you know, for their limbs and everything. The limbs are all in proportion, but the body's a little bit small. So instead of a newborn hair, I was thinking more of adding like a fuller head of hair. And you know when you've got those little curls that come up at just under the bottom of their ears, that sort of length, I was thinking of trying that with her. If I don't like it I can always cut it shorter, but she needs something to give some width to her head, I feel. She looks small-headed to a certain extent, and also she's got arms like an orangutan. I got the body custom made, and I put it on, and I've only literally just put it together, and the arms are quite long, so that's another project for me one afternoon now. The because she's got 3/4 arms, like the caps at the top of the arms, the little cloth sort of cap bits, I'm gonna alter those and make them half the size and have a little play with it, because it just needs to be about 1/2 inch shorter. Otherwise she looks like she's all lanky, like her father was a gibbon. I don't know where that come from, it just come out my mouth. I say things, it comes out, I don't think about it, I say it, it comes out, runs around the room, and I can hear myself saying it. But apart from that, it's a really nice sculpt. I enjoyed painting her. She's got a sweet little face. She's got, I was having trouble with eyebrows, and I did barely there eyebrows, but her barely there needs to be a little bit more there. But I think I'll leave that now until I do her hair, and then I can match it all up properly then, because the barely there was okay with the, I was going to do like a newborn light layer of hair all over, but I'll leave it now. So she'll stay as she is for a little while now. I'll see about ordering the hair in the week, and then see if she's got the colour I need, because it goes out so fast. She has got the blonde at the moment, but I don't mind. If I can get the blonde for my Ariella, then I'll just swap them around and I'll just route them in reverse, because it'll be more important really for the Ariella to have hair if she's starting to run out of stocks of hair, because she's going to be a bigger baby and she's going to be more like a 3-month-old or 4-month-old baby sort of to look at, I'm guessing randomly off the top of my head, when she's finished. So she really can't manage without hair, whereas if I can't get the colour I want for this little one for a week or two, or until she gets her new stocks, and she can always wear a hat, but I am definitely going to root this one, because I really, right from the start, I really wanted to give her, a head of hair. So I've decided to name her Trinity. Now, this isn't the sort of name I usually choose, but the names I've chosen for her and for my Ariella both got a little bit of sort of spiritual meaning, or at the moment, because of the way the world is. I didn't want a name that like hope or faith, that when this is all over and we all want to move on, oh, mind you, I suppose it's the same thing really, but I didn't want that kind of a name. And then when this is all over, we're sort of wanting to forget about it and not be reminded of it. But I was just glancing through babies' names for some inspiration, because with having so many babies, all my favourite names that is a link to grandchildren or anything like that, are pretty much used up now. That, the ones I really like, that would match like a first name. If I wanted to add a second name, I got to watch now in case grandchildren are watching. You say, well, I haven't got my name, Nanny. But it's where you would pick out, certain names. Oh, I'll dig myself a big hole. Like you've got names that you like, so you get your dolly name, like say I've got Madison, and Madison then has a second name of Jade, because Jade is relevant, and this sort of thing, so it goes along like that, doesn't it, through the thing, like Tristan is Tristan Michael, because Michael's my grandson, and this sort of thing. So and well, 2 of my grandsons have got Michael, one for a first name, one for a second name, so that's sort of relevant. So you sort of have your own names, but sometimes you add a touch. Abby is Abby Rose, because my auntie, who was like my second mum, I absolutely adored my auntie Margaret, her name was Margaret Rose. So you just add these little touches in there, don't you, and everybody does it. But I'm starting to get now, because when I've done my Ariella, there'll be 14 babies in my collection, so it's definitely not going to be any more for a long time now, because they'll just be having to I don't know, they'll be in drawers, in cupboards, they'll be behind sofas, they'll be everywhere otherwise. Oh, so, I made myself giggle now and thrown myself completely off track. Yeah, so these will be the last ones. Of course, names are starting to get more difficult now. But yeah, I was glancing online this morning because I had a few ideas in mind, and I wasn't really sure. Nothing was really setting, because right from the start, I really would have liked to call her Emma, but my daughter is Emma, and it would just get confusing when you talk about, like, I'm going to buy some clothes for Emma, or something like that, or I decided I'm going to make a dress for Emma. It's going to get really confusing, but then I was stuck then for another name, so it's been quite difficult for this one, finding a name. But yeah, Trinity, so I'm thinking the power of 3, that kind of a thing. All the other things that I can't think of now that are related to 3. So it's all like, more of a spiritual past, present, future. It's the triad, isn't it? The eternal triad, like a Welsh cross, basically, like a Celtic cross, and it's all in that kind of a thing. I'm useless when it comes to explaining these things. My brain does not work that well anymore for explanations. But yeah, so I thought I'd bring her on this morning. She can do PJ Saturday, bless. So welcome Trinity, everybody, and I hope you like her. Actually, I really cannot wait to see her with some hair, some nice, maybe light brown hair, and just those little baby curls at the back of her neck and at the bottom of her ear, and then a little bit, going across maybe slightly to the side on her front, a little clip in the side or a headband. She'd look adorable, wouldn't she? Yeah. So so I'm happy with this one. It's the first Bountiful Baby kit that I've painted and not had a huge amount of trouble painting. I think the only other one that was really quite easy was Tristan. It just sort of fell in. But then it all goes back to when I did my Lavender Awake, because I just completely went wrong with that somewhere with the paint and everything. And it really knocked my confidence for painting. And every time I go to paint a baby now, I have doubts of whether I can do it or not and whether it'll be okay, which I'd never really had before. But it's wearing off. You've just got to get over yourself, haven't you, really? And, otherwise you'd never do nothing, would you? But she's wearing a little baby grow I got from Matalan. Oh, how is everyone else coping with their baby clothes with all the shops shutting? Oh, and like Next is closed, so there's no Next clearance. I can't go on there. M&Co is closed, so I can't go on the sale things there. TK Maxx is closed rather, so I can't go on the the reduced price nicer baby clothes on there. There's a few, isn't there? They're shutting down, and then you got things like Matalan is still open, but I'm browsing Matalan and I'm browsing Georgia Asda looking for clothes for my Ariella, because she's 0 to 3, so all the other girls are newborn. So nothing is going to fit her that they got. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't find what I like. I need to go on to Next or M&Co really, more for the things I wanted for her. 2 have got a few things in. 2 at Sainsbury's that are quite nice. But when you're looking for something and you're not quite finding it, so I'll just have to have another browse, and I've got plenty of time. She won't worry. I've got a vest. I've got a vest she can wear and a nappy, so she won't be naked. And socks, probably socks. I mean, I've got a few old Sarah Louise dresses in the wardrobe. Maybe one of those would do for now. But I was looking at them the other day, and I keep them more for sentimental reasons than anything. A lot of them were Mum's for her babies, and then when I had them off Mum, the little granddaughters, my last 2 granddaughters, have worn the dresses when they were babies, and then I've had them back. So I think that she'll probably end up wearing an outfit from there for now if I can't find anything that I really like. Georgia Asda has some nice things, but I was thinking more of like you picture it in your head, and then you're thinking, oh, I like this look or that look for her, and I'm not quite finding it yet. More traditional baby, but I don't want to be paying £15 for a dress. That's where my brain is. I don't really want to be paying that at the moment. With everything that's going on, because it's just too expensive. Like, oh, well, there's nice and there's nice things and everything. There are some nice things around, but and like Mother Care is shut down, so these places where we would normally go and find our bargains, a lot of them, my favourite places are either closed at the moment or closed down. So I don't know. So anyway, I'm just rambling today, aren't I? Because I just wanted to come on and show you Trinity, and just show you what she looks like. She looks quite sweet there, actually, isn't she? I'm looking at her through the phone, and she's got shadows on her face, but in real life, as it were, it's quite bright in the room today, and there's not so many shadows, and she looks quite sweet laid there. Yeah, so that's it. So I might be back on later, but I want to knit. I'm halfway through my blanket for my cousin's daughter for a new baby. He's due in about 5 weeks now. And I've just started the decrease, so starting to go up the other half. Just done about 2 rows on the decrease, so that's sort of roughly half done. And then I knitted this hat, because I like to swap back and forth. If I get a bit tired of doing the crochet, then I might do some knitting for a couple of hours or something. And I've started the cardi that goes with this hat, that I thought might be nice on Trinity when it's finished. And it'll fit the other girls as well, but you like to have a few things for them, don't you? But the trouble is, I've got so many little newborn clothes, little baby grows and things, that I literally am having trouble shutting the drawer. And I've gone through it a couple of times, but there's not really anything in there I want to get rid of. So she'll just have to share with her sisters for a little while, and they'll all share the baby grows and different things, different outfits. And it'll be my Ariella's turn next. And my Ariella I'm going to call Neve. I'm not going to spell it N-I-A-M-H. I'm going to spell it N-E-A-V-E. So the new babies, so this one is Trinity and the next one will be Neve. Neve, I forgot what it means, a radiance or brightness, I think it said. And Deirdre would know properly about this because it's a Irish, I wanted to say Russian, sorry Deirdre. It's an Irish princess, I think, with golden hair or something like that. You'll correct me, won't you, Deirdre, if you see this video, but if you look it up online, it's a bit like our Welsh, I imagine it being like our Welsh Rhiannon, where she's, because she's a goddess, not a witch, regardless of what Stevie Nicks says. Rhiannon is a goddess from the Mabinogion, and she is part of our culture, our heritage, and she rides on the wind on a white horse, and she's got long flowing blonde hair, and she has these birds that fly around her and sing, and she entices men, and then she entices men. They are bewitched by her, and then in the morning she's disappeared. So, there's more to it than that, but that's the bit that I like. So if you know the song from Rhiannon that Stevie Nicks wrote, that she said that she's a Welsh witch, she isn't, she's a goddess. And she, when she says that she never knew about the story of Rhiannon before she wrote the song, well, when you know the story of Rhiannon, you could not have known the story before you wrote the song. But I love it because I'm a great Stevie Nicks fan. And my granddaughter's Rhiannon. So that's the reason why I haven't got the dollies called Rhiannon. And actually, Lexi, her kennel club name is Peakstone's Rihanna. So she could have been Rihanna, but I got a granddaughter named Rhiannon, so I couldn't call her Rihanna. But I did have a chihuahua called Rhiannon once, little tiny white one with long fur. Oh, she was adorable. She was such a sweet little sweetheart. She only weighed about £3, £4, absolutely tiny, but absolutely beautiful. And with the whiteness and everything. And I just thought, oh, Rhiannon, I've got to call her Rhiannon. And she went on for we had her for about 13 years. And in the end, she went blind. But it was such a shame because the blindness was distressing her. She couldn't cope with it. She was frightened all the time. And, we tried everything. But in the end, we had to have her put to sleep because it was cruel to keep her alive. You couldn't carry her around. She'd be shaking. Chihuahuas shake anyway as part of their thing. But you know your own dog, and she was terrified. You put her by her food and she'd be falling in it, and she couldn't find the dish. And it was really distressing to watch, and it was distressing for her. So once she got to that stage, then we had to let her go. But the bit that really peeved me off about it was she was fully fit otherwise, but there was nothing that could be done for her sight. No operation or anything like that. It was just one of those instances where nothing could be done. So I always thought that was awful. I thought that was sad. So so she was a sweet little thing. Gorgeous she was. So anyway, on a brighter note, but that was a long time ago now. She's been gone 11 years or so. And then I had a pair of chihuahuas, Toto and Rhiannon. Toto made it to 10, and then he had a heart attack and died. And then I think he just got a bit hot. He used to have quite a thick coat, and we had a hot summer. And I used to try and take his coat down and shave under his belly and try and keep him cool and everything. But one day he seemed a bit hot, so he had a bath to try and cool him down, and then he just collapsed and died They thought it might be a heart attack. So he made it to 10, and then Rhiannon, who was a year younger, she made it to 13. Bless him. So they didn't go on long as they could have for 2 hours, which is a shame. But they were gorgeous. They were 2 beautiful dogs. I did love them. And after that, then we had, in the meantime, I'd taken on Jasper, which was my Yorkie, and he was like a bigger Yorkie, not like a little tiny delicate little thing. But Mum had him, and she just couldn't do anything with him. She was one of these people, like, you know, expected that if you offered it a treat 3 times it would dance around the room, you know. So she got a bit impatient with him, and they just didn't match at the end of the day. So when he was 6 months old, I had him. So when the 2 hours went, then I still had Jasper for a while, and he went absolutely everywhere with me. He slept on my bed at night. He was always in the car with me. Everywhere I could possibly take him, I did. And then when he started to get older, we got Ruby Tuesday then, and she was a little tiny Yorkie, and she was adorable, so full of mischief, but in a nice way, you know, like you plant plants in the garden, put some seedlings in, go inside and sit down, make yourself a coffee, sit down, and then she'd come in with one in her mouth and things like this. She was lovely. And then after we didn't have her, and then we had a 4-year gap then without a dog, which was the first time ever in my life I'd never had a dog that I could ever remember. And then we had Lexi then, and she's 7 this year. So, and she's just full of it. She's lovely, typical Westies. So if you know anything about Westies, she's typical of them. She's quite stubborn, likes her own way, but at the same time she's very friendly and loving, and just a really nice little dog. They're quite characters, Westies are. So there you go. So that's my ramble for today. All about nothing very much at all. Is there any of us that can really think of anything to say now? Because it's just so difficult, isn't it? None of us have been anywhere or done anything, or we're not getting the holes in the same or anything like that. I don't know. It's all really pretty difficult, isn't it? But I hope you enjoyed seeing Trinity today, who I still want to call Emma. I'm looking at her and I want to say Emma, but I'll get used to it. She's got a little, she's borrowing the little unicorn comforter that sort of gets passed around to all the new babies. But I have ordered a little lamb comforter with her name embroidered on it. I found one on Amazon yesterday, so that shall come in the week. So keeping myself occupied, mentally stimulating, and looking after my mental health and enjoying myself while I'm on lockdown, and at the same time slap on the wrist for unnecessary purchases. Oh dear, there's no way to balance it, is there really, unless we all sit inside and just twiddle our thumbs for the next 3 months. Well, anyway, bye for now. Have a lovely day. I'll try and pop back on again over the weekend. The sun is starting to break out properly now. It's a nice day, and I'm probably going to start painting my Ariella today. Yeah, probably, I don't know. Trouble is now, I've got my little hobbies all going, and then I'm flitting from one to the other. I really want to start my Ariella, but actually I forgot. I've got to wait for new paintbrushes to come, because my paintbrushes had got really old, and I was thinking, oh, I'm not really planning to do much in the way of dolls anymore or anything like that, because I've got so many. So I won't bother buying any more. And I managed to make Trinity without buying new brushes. But then when I finished painting her, I threw them all in the bin because they're just so grotty and old. And sometimes I was thinking, God, this brush really isn't doing me any favours when I'm trying to paint nails or something like that. So I decided to order some new brushes, so I'm waiting for them to come before I do Ariella. I'd nearly forgotten about that. And also I've ordered some new thinners. I needed a bit more thin. I've got a little bit, but I needed some more thinners as well. So when they arrive, then I'll start. I mean, they might come today. You never know, you might get a delivery. We had post at 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. I never had post so late. Oh, right. I'm definitely going this time because I'm getting hot in here. So bye for now. Take care of yourselves and each other. Lots of love. Stay safe. Bye.